water from the pool fountain is a little bit loud, so I am going to speak loudly as I talk to you about repotting one of my orchids that, as you can see, is doing so well leaf-wise. The leaves are beautiful, and this is a very special orchid. When I purchased it, it was one of those where they force the blue color and it had blue spots on it, and I'm not really a big fan of that, although I think all orchids are beautiful. But it called to me, I know that sounds a little crazy, but it called to me and asked for me to buy it, and I purchased it, and after it lost all of its leaves, I did not have any idea what color it was going to bloom, and it ended up being a stunning white with a yellow center, and I will post pictures of before and after so you can see that you really can't judge the orchid by what the forcing looks like. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to repot it, and I'm going to come around here and show you what it looks like inside. It is extremely healthy, and what it's done is it's adhering itself to the inside of this pot. And I don't want to overdo cleaning it because it seems to be doing very well, and the flowers that were on it for the second or third bloom were on for 3 months. So I'm going to put this on fast forward, and I'm going to show you what it looks like as I clean it. In this video, I repot one of my prized orchids that I call the Orchid, formerly known as Crystal Blue Persuasion. Each one of my orchids has a name, and each one of them has a story. I wanted to talk to you about what I'm taking off. So anything that looks like it's really mushy can probably be trimmed. But this particular orchid, when it goes into bloom, it goes into bloom for months. So I had the most magnificent white flowers. They were about 5 inches across, and I had them for months. I mean, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that it was in bloom for 3 months. So what I'm going to do is just remove anything that looks very brown. And I'm not gonna over trim it, because if it's not broke, I'm not gonna fix it. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more work on it. And I've pulled out anything that looks really mushy, but I haven't over trimmed. I'll probably take this one off. But this particular orchids sometimes like different things, and you sort of have to observe what's going on with them. This particular one seems to not have a problem being moist. I do let him drain when I water him, but he doesn't seem to have a problem. He's a little bit moist in here. So I'm going to start putting some of the moss, the orchid moss, in the center, and then I'm going to bring that up around the top. But then all around the outside of the orchid, I'm going to put the regular orchid potting mix. And what I'm going to put it in, I like to try to do as much recycling as possible. So this is a pot that I had purchased some annuals, and I save all of those pots, and I reuse everything that I can. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some of the orchid potting mix down in the bottom of this to make a nice base so the roots can grow down if they wish. Although, because it's Florida, that's where I live, in Florida, and orchids just kind of go up into the environment to look for their own water, just like they would where they're naturally grown in the world. I grabbed a big hunk of this moss and I'm going to put it in the center where all of the roots are that were a little bit moist, and then I'm going to very gently put all of the other green roots down into the pot and then refill with the orchid mix. And there you go. I don't put them down really deep into the pot because they're probably going to do what they want anyway and send their roots out into the air looking for moisture. But it's standing a little bit more upright, which was what I wanted, and that way when the flower spike comes up, I'll be able to stake it and get the better support for the flowers, because they were absolutely huge. One of the other things that I do is all of the medium, I'm going to move him out of the way, all of the medium, everything I cleaned off, I recycle all of this. So all of this stuff I will dump in the garden, and the birds right now are making their nests for the fall, so they come over and they know that I'm going to do it. It's really funny. And they come over and they take whatever they want out of the pile and they put it in their nest. The final thing that I love to do, especially, I mean, look at how beautiful these leaves are. So what I'm going to do is clean them, and then I'm going to use this Miracle Grow Leaf Shine, which I use on a lot of the larger leaf plants that I keep out on my lanai. And the plant is just absolutely going to love it. It doesn't like dirt on its leaves, and it's going to look really beautiful. A couple other things I'm going to do is I'm putting a pole for support in the front of the orchid, and then I'm going to put it back into the pot that it likes, and I will give it a little bit of medium around the pot. And we are finished. I'm going to turn it away from the sun to encourage it to go in the opposite direction, but it looks great. So good luck to you. And the first orchid, and there you have it. The orchid, formerly known as Crystal Blue Persuasion, has been repotted, cleaned up, leaves have been shined, and I am just going to sit back now and wait for the beautiful white flowers that lasted for almost 3 months. I will link all the products that I used down at the bottom, and please, any comments that you have, if you liked the video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more, please subscribe.